Hey guys, welcome back to Tip Tuesday. My name is Matthew Sturkey with Stone Mill Log and Timber Homes. Thanks for joining us. Last week we talked about doing a test dig and also having a survey done on the building site for the house seat for smaller lots. This week, as we move forward in construction, we're going to talk about the different foundation options and what foundation options are suitable for different sites. Some of the tips on that. Not every foundation type is going to be suitable for every lot. The topography of a site will dictate a lot of what type of foundation will be done. For example, if you're on a very level site, you could do a crawl space with block, you could do a slab, you could do a little poured wall crawl space as well. But on some of your more slope properties, moderate to slope properties, where you're going to have lower levels, you would typically see other types of foundations like poured walls, superior wall systems, which are precast wall system, and potentially an ICF, which is an insulated concrete foundation system. So let's talk about the different types of foundations, what foundation types are out there, and look how it applies to the different types of slopes, and also sometimes logistics, being able to get certain equipment and trailers in. For example, a superior wall system requires a semi and a large crane, and some of your more logistically challenging sites to get in may not be able to accommodate the long semi and trailer, tractor trailer associated with getting a superior wall foundation system in. So you might go more with a poured wall application. So what we're seeing here is a poured wall application on your walls below grade. And then on the walkout side, which is this backside, that returns to conventional framing with a zip system. And this is a very common application in a more slope property where you've got some topography on the site. A lot of times you'll do these poured wall applications on the sides and on the front wall, and then return to a conventionally frame wall on the rear walkout. Very common foundation type. So this is a poured wall and is very suited for building sites with topography, with slope. The next one is going to be your block, typical block foundation. Block foundation with poured cores are not as common today. Poured wall applications, superior wall applications, ICFs are more common and more popular than block, but sometimes you get into traditional block type foundations with the cores poured, the cavities, what we call the cavities being poured. And this is what will present a block foundation. You would typically see block foundation done more in a crawl space type application where you've got a more level building site where you're only coming up, 2 or 3 feet above finished grade, and a block foundation would be pretty typical then, with a poured core. So that's a block foundation. Your next one is going to be the ICF, which is an insulated concrete foundation system. So it's basically an insulated wall on the exterior and the interior with a cavity in the middle that gets poured full of concrete, and it gets reinforced with steel in the cavity that it gets poured. So this is a really common, very popular application, also a very efficient, energy efficient application, and used a lot in more colder climates where you're trying to get a certain R value on the walls, much like your superior wall systems. And then you can see here that this returned to a walkout side, which is a frame wall application with the zip system. And this is just a very energy efficient application, and more commonly used with basement type foundations. This would not be what you would typically find in a crawl space type application. So with properties that have a little bit more slope to them, something that is going to have a lower level, you would see this type of application with an ICF in some of your more colder climates. So that's an ICF. And then this is another picture of a poured wall application Poured wall applications will have your forms that are set, and then your concrete gets poured into the forms, and then the forms get removed once the concrete cures. So that's a poured wall application. Another picture of poured wall. And then you've got your typical slab. This is more commonly used on very level sites, also in areas that are further south. This is a project down in Florida. That is a typical slab application where you've got a very level site and the house is going to be close to finished grade. And you're also trying to have some prevention for termites and things like that. So slab foundation is very common in Florida and lower Alabama, lower Georgia on your very level sites. The thing about slab construction that you got to take into account is all your electrical and all your plumbing has to be roughed in before that slab is poured. There are a couple of different types of slab applications. This is what we call a monolithic, and then there's also a slab on block. Where you've got a block perimeter with a slab poured to the inside. So there are a couple of different slab options. Slab is not as common with log and or timber frame construction just because we're typically building on sites that have a little bit more topography, a little bit more elevation, and generally warrant a crawl space or a lower level basement type application. But that is slab construction and is very possible. We do a lot of slab construction when we do projects down in Florida and Texas. And then this is a superior wall. This is the inside of a superior wall system. It's a precast concrete wall system. You can see these wall panels come in sections. They get craned into place on a compacted gravel footing with a drain field, and then the walls get basically locked in with the subfloor and the slab at the base. So you can see how the precast wall systems, the superior wall systems have an open cavity that gets insulated. This gets wired. And then the great thing about superior wall systems is you can apply your wall finish after all your electrical and after all your insulation inspections. Your wall finish goes directly to the wall. This is advantageous over a poured wall because you don't have to fur the wall in and you don't lose space on the inside. The difference here, though, is in superior wall applications, you typically are limited to 10-foot wall heights. So sites that have a lot of topography where you've got a 12 or 12 plus foot wall on the backside typically don't apply and don't work as well with superior wall systems because of some of their height limitations on their walls. But certain sites with the right slope and the right topography are great for superior wall systems. Super energy efficient. They come in sections, they're installed in a short period of time, and within a couple of days, you've got a foundation wall system in place and you're ready for subfloor and you're ready for pouring the slab to lock in the walls at the bottom and then to build a floor system at the top to lock everything in. So really, really big on superior wall systems. You can check them out. Superior wall systems are online. And you can do your research. Like I said, not every site is suitable for superior wall systems. So really good foundation wall system and something that you might want to research. So those are the different foundation options that are available and how some of those foundations options are applicable to your building site. So hopefully this has been helpful. And if you have any more questions or if you have questions about what foundation type is best suited for you, that is something that we typically get into when we start the design phase. When we go into what we call preliminary design, we will start to ask those questions about what type of foundation is going to be used. And if there are, if you don't know, we will certainly help walk you through the different options that are available and try to come up with the foundation type that's going to be most suited for you and your building site. So hopefully that's been helpful. We appreciate you joining us for Tip Tuesday today. We look forward to you joining us for more Tip Tuesday next week. Until then, as always, stay safe and healthy and take care.